The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent or of the River District Association. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the True North Speaker Series. We are now down to the end of the Season 3 Speaker Series. We have Jodi Coleman with us. This is Season 3, Episode 10. So you guys be ready to have an amazing time to hear about the life of Jodi and how what she do has shaped who she is. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You ready?
You ready as I'm gonna be?
I know you're not nervous.
Come on.
So the question that we asked everybody, tell us, who is Jodi Coleman?
When I read that question from the email, it made me actually think. I was like, who is Jodi Coleman? So many layers to who I am. And I think that I am discovering that the older I get, every chapter shows you a different layer of who you are.
Ooh.
So right now, Jodi is strength. She is resilient. She is hopeful. She is who I am.
Yeah. For whatever reason,
Yeah.
that is always the hardest question.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody, I'm glad I'm on this side because I don't know if I can answer it.
Right. That is something that I had contemplated saying.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really completely know, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
Because I was mother,
Yeah.
I was wife, I am minister.
Yeah.
But who am I as an individual outside of my titles? That is something that I am yet discovering.
Yeah.
I am discovering who I am, what I like, or as opposed to what somebody else likes, or pleasing someone else. Those are things or attributes that I am yet learning every day.
And then we get so caught up in the everyday that when do we have time or take time to discover who we are?
Yeah, it's when we're sleeping. When we're dreaming, when we have that time where we're just binge watching TV on Netflix, and then we'll say, oh yeah, I think I like this. Well, me personally, I love to stay at home.
Yeah.
I am not a vacationer. If you let me stay at home, I don't have to have a vacation.
Staycation.
Yes. And I would do that. I'll take a staycation. I'll stay home 2 or 3 days and won't answer my phone, which I'll try not to answer.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do that as a realtor. But I try that sometimes. Staycations are to me, ideal for a vacation.
I like that. So tell us about your journey to becoming the person you are today. And what are some of the key moments in your life that led you to who you are now?
A lot of people don't know my history, and I contemplate on sharing that. But I think that a lot of times that when you share your testimony, it helps people to better understand who you are. However, I am I've been on my own since I was 13 years old.
Wow.
I lived on I lived on the streets, literally. My mom has her issues, and my dad, I'm his illegitimate child, and I literally lost in the school system. Nobody was looking for me, and I lived on the streets. And that journey of being alone, it helped me. It gave me the resilience that I need. Which is not always a good thing. I self-soothed because I didn't have anybody. But it gave me that fight. I had to make a choice. Either choose to allow my past to become my why or my excuse for not becoming, or allowing my past to become my excuse to be. or for it to be successful. So I've chosen to allow it to make me successful.
And and I had this conversation with my kids. I'm glad we're going down here. And I know this is about entrepreneurship because it led to everything in the real estate business that you are. So we'll get to that. But I have that conversation with my kids. We can choose to be the victim,
Yeah.
or realize that we've been victimized and learn to be victorious in that.
Right. Exactly. That's true.
Nobody would take away from your experience.
That's true.
But how do you want to take your experience and what do you do next?
That's true.
And I'm glad you chose to say, how can I make this make me stronger and make me better? And not always say, well, I was this at 13. I was this. Yes. But I like this side of it because it can say in spite of.
Right.
In spite of.
Well, that is, again, you have to choose when to share, because everyone can handle, not all people can handle your past.
Right.
Or you would never look at me and say, oh, really? She has to, it had to be somebody. Well, there were people here and there, but ultimately I lived on the streets. I would meet strangers and I would stay with them for short periods of time. And that kind of, to me, became my pattern. I'd stay with them for a little while, then things wouldn't work out, and then I would have to go and stay somewhere else. And then I was given the opportunity to get a low-income apartment in Woodside. And that is just kind of changed my whole life, because the birth of my daughter, I did not want to leave a legacy with my child that my mom left for me. And God knows I honor my mom.
Yeah.
She did the very best that she could. I think that there isn't a manual to parenthood or life.
Yeah.
So I honor my mom, I honor my dad, and this is not to throw any dirt or anything on them or who they are. It is just to share how I am, or why I am where I am, who I am. So,
and you said Woodside, and I just remember my first apartment was Purton Woods.
was it really?
Apartment A3, Purton Woods, and I needed that moment. And the complete opposite of you. I came from a 2-parent household, loving, affectionate household. But when I had my son, I just couldn't imagine my parents raising him. And I was like, I wanted to be independent of them.
Wow.
I wanted to do this.
Wow.
Yes, I wasn't married, all of that stuff, but I wanted to be independent of them. And I choose to live in public housing for that. Wanted to be on my own.
Wow.
They beg you not to, it's like, we got you. No, I want to do this myself. Didn't have to. So completely different stories and how we matched up in that spot.
Wow. Yes. Well, my apartment was L88 in Woodside, and it was the turning event of my life, because it was like I finally have a foundation to start from. Jodi, is what the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I still didn't know exactly what I wanted to do as far as life was concerned. And I didn't graduate high school with my class. I had to go back after my children were like 5 to 6 years old and get my high school diploma.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah. But I was determined.
Yeah.
And I still am.
Yeah.
I'm very determined. Success. I want to be everything that the Lord said that I could be.
Yeah.
Because that's my root. And I always say this, I am where I am because of God.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that God raised me.
Yeah.
Everything that I am, every piece of knowledge that I have, it is because the Lord put people in my life that added to me.
Yeah.
And it was Him. It was His hand.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't even know where to go.
We all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. But what do you think was that one specific turning point in your life that made you realize the importance of community and to serve? Because that's who you are.
I've always been a server. I've always been a giver, always. But the turning point was when I decided to actually embrace ministry.
Wow.
Embracing ministry helped me see people. Before I couldn't. I was in my own on my own, in my own life, in my own head, trying to process my own issues. But when I accepted the call to be a minister, I realized that that was the time that I had to consider someone else. And I had my children, but it was just different. To see the need to have the desire to see someone else make it, and or to get to know the Lord. Then you come into the where you find out people don't have food, they don't have shelter. It becomes a burden, because even if you do something small, you're doing something, and another one of the big things that I try to be is a one of the doers, not just the talkers. You have a lot of people that point fingers and say, "Oh, they should be doing this, but they're not doing anything."
No.
Or why do they do it that way? But they're just talking.
Yeah.
But you can't get them to come to a meeting,
Right.
or pick up the piece of trash, or you know, it's important for me to be a part of to be a doer and not just a talker.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
way.
And the one thing, me knowing you for as long as I've known you, is you do so much that goes unseen and unheard, and you want it that way.
I want it that way.
Like, how do you do that? Because it's one of the things that my friends and I have been talking about for the past couple of months is people wanting gratification
Yeah.
for their work. And
Right.
I don't feel like nothing wrong with it. That's no judgment.
Right.
But how do you do it knowing that the way you do it, it comes with no recognition?
It is recognized. The Lord sees.
Yeah.
And I do it for Him.
Mhm.
I do it for God. And I believe that anything that I do for God will last better, and I will be rewarded more than someone else just giving me those
Yeah.
accolades. Um, my purpose behind doing it is pure.
Yeah.
Of anything that I do, any motive I do, or any motive I have is I don't I don't have the desire for you to say Jodi did this or she did that, because I don't want it to seem as though that is my driving force. My driving force is just to meet the need.
Yeah.
To meet, and I don't care what it is. And I don't know. Well, there's a gift. It's called helps.
Okay.
Um, I will give my last.
Right.
I will do it just to ensure somebody has exactly what they need. Some child has their shoes.
Right.
Some family has food to eat.
Yeah.
Someone has a nice place to stay.
Yeah.
Lights need to be paid. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help each other. We're supposed to be helpers one to another. I have to go to my roots.
Right.
My roots
Right.
is salvation.
Right.
That's who we are. We're not an island to ourselves. We need each other.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a part of the speaker series
Yeah.
is talking about community.
Yeah.
And when we say who is the epitome that can talk about community, that is you. And most people don't know this, and I don't know if you want me to share, but I'm doing it anyway. For the longest time, when I worked at the teen center at the Boys and Girls Club, the Boys and Girls Club didn't have like really abundance of snacks.
Right.
And you provided snacks for, I know, 2 years.
Yeah.
Every month you showed up more than the Feeding America, and showed up with snacks to support my whole teen center for, I know, at least 2 years.
Well,
And I just think about when we think, and I was like, okay, let's do an in-kind letter. Let's so you can write. You was like, no, I will not.
Yeah, just
and
take
you was
them.
like, you better not tell anybody. Just
Yeah.
and you would even come like early in the day or whatever, so won't nobody even know who was donating. And I look at that, and it's just Jodi. I know it's just Jodi, and you made such an impact. Because I mean, we was averaging what 25, 30 teens a day, and you was like, I see you next month.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at the sacrifice, because I don't know what came with that.
Yeah.
And it was like the consistency, without a shadow of doubt, the consistency and the sacrifice. And when we look at the redevelopment, especially of North Main, in addition to downtown, how many people just sacrifice?
Yeah. Well, and that The scripture that comes to mind when you say that is, the Lord will not forget your labor of love. And I wish you hadn't said nothing about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, okay. But that is, with you saying it, it's exposed, it's out there, but it was done and it's over with. The need.
Yeah.
Any little thing helps.
Yeah.
Any little, it doesn't matter.
Right.
A lot of times, people won't do because they feel like they have to do it at a large capacity.
Exactly.
But you don't have to do it at a large capacity. You could just give something.
Yeah.
If it's $25,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That is the mindset I've always had. Every little thing helps.
Yeah. And even like my parents used to even say, because they used to do a lot, and they didn't have it. Like to this day, I don't know how they did it.
Right.
Like they would feed not only their kids, which was 7 at the time I wasn't born, but 7 of their kids, and then all of my cousins and everything, and everybody ate and was full. And it, like you said, they didn't have a lot, but they never ran out. And and they never wanted gratification or acknowledgement or anything for it. It was just the spirit of who they were.
Right. And I think that is because the sense of, this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help each other. Now, it comes back full circle with that. We're supposed to be there for each other.
Yeah.
But we grasp a hold to the understanding that if we be there for one another, we will grow as a community like crazy.
Yeah.
The connection, if we consider one another, if we respect each other, we don't always have to like each other.
Right.
But respecting each other and ensuring that I'm doing my part. That's all.
How do you know, to the people out there that say, I don't know what I can give? How did you figure out, being from 13 years old, living on your own, to now? How did you figure out how did you supposed to give? How did you figure that out?
I never. It was always instilled. It was my grandparents. I stayed with them for a short period of time. And he had 8 children, and we lived in a 3-bedroom house. We had electricity. We didn't have running water, and we did not have an inside toilet. I grew up very primitive.
Yeah.
Very primitive. And all we didn't have big Christmases. Even though I'm 46 years old.
Yeah.
But the Christmases I had were a bag of candy,
oranges, apples, and 2 candy bars.
Yes. That's what we had, and we thought it was the best.
Yeah.
We thought it was the best ever. So just the fact that that's how I grew up. I grew up in a big family. I'm my mom's only child. I don't have any brothers and sisters on my mom's side. My dad has 2 children, but my mom's only child. And but I didn't grow up as an only child because I had such a big community of people until I turned 13.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story. But that's how I lived. So that's how I lived.
Yeah. And I mean, you do it like it's rooted in you, but also it's the intention behind it.
Right.
And that's what I feel like a lot of people struggle with. And you find some people that are involved in everything because they don't know their identity. And then you find some people who don't do anything because they don't know their identity. So the question comes back to, like, when do you know, okay, Jodi, to do that?
Well, I think that people that don't do is not because they don't want to. Sometimes it is the fact that they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I think that is important that you just kind of, if there is a thought, act upon it. Act upon the thought. Allow yourself to research where you can start. If it's nothing but going to God's pit crew, what is it, Salvation Army, and serve. You could just go there and help serve lunch, be a volunteer. I can't really express it except for the fact that is just instilled in me. It's just something in me, which is God, that makes me want to be a part of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Want to be a part of making things better.
Yeah.
That's what we were actually commanded to do.
Yeah.
Be fruitful, multiply, dominate, subdue.
Good.
to be a part of the bigger picture of this world.
Yeah.
So, where are we going now?
I know, right? So let's talk about that because you do so much. So how do you balance being a hardworking professional, a family member, a community leader while taking care of your own personal growth?
I'm just now learning how to balance it.
Mm.
Sometimes you can be so caught up in doing for others and working, being that professional because you have to survive. You
Yeah.
have to, because you're so caught up in it, you kind of forget you and you put yourself on the back burner. And ultimately you find yourself in a burnt out place. And I've done that before. I had to reach that burnout to realize it's time to start thinking about me.
Yeah.
So balancing, it's I actually honestly haven't really grasped the whole to a balance. But it's just that I realize when it's time to just stop and give myself a break.
Yeah.
Which takes a lot of experience with burnouts in order for you to realize it's time to just calm down. Not stop completely, because I've never ever stopped completely. But just recently, I did the gas giveaway at Walmart.
Yeah.
Just, but that was inspired. I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to help the community. It wasn't a lie, but because I started the gas giveaway, someone else was like, oh, that's a great idea. Let me take part in that. So, but reaching that point of balance, it just takes time. You just have to learning how to organize yourself better, organize your life better. Organization is something that I've had to learn in this process. However, still working on it.
And even talking about the personal growth side of things, I'm really struggling in this moment because I'm ready to be a complete empty nester.
Oh, wow.
And I went from nieces and nephews playing sports to my kids playing sports and activities or whatever. I had 4 kids, each one to play 3 sports apiece. That's not counting all the other stuff that you do. So now the last one ready to graduate and my grandkids not living in Danville. And so it's like, what do I do? What do I do? So
embrace it.
I'm struggling. Like I'm really, really struggling. And I didn't think empty nesting was gonna be a thing. I was like, oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna go on vacation. You don't go on vacation 365 days in a year.
Yeah, that's true.
So what am I gonna do in them 2 weeks when I'm not on vacation or whatever? What do I do? And I caught myself getting drawn into a lot of stuff.
Right.
And then I was like, wait a minute. I don't want to do a lot of stuff. I want to be impactful.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
I think that I was listening to a great speaker, and she was talking about how she was doing a whole lot of and things in the community, but the Lord said, "You're doing more than I've called you to do," and that stuff can be distracting. So it's important for you to prayer. I believe 100% in prayer. You pray and you ask the Lord, and He will put in your path exactly what you should be doing. But you have to be content with it.
Right.
A lot of times we think that because we are doing whatever we're doing, it is not as impactful as the next person. However, if you are consistent in it, it will unfold itself. But you have to allow it time to unfold itself and just enjoy this season of rest.
Yeah.
I think that I'm in a season,
Yeah.
believe it or not. I think that I'm in a season of rest, and I have had to fight myself and say, Jodi, it's okay. Jodi, it's okay. Rest. Look at a movie. Binge watch Netflix.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
You can do
Nobody
that.
got practice.
Yeah.
So being a realtor requires dedication and hard work. Because you even told me I got a house I gotta show. But
yeah, I do.
What drives you to keep pushing forward, especially in them tough times?
Yeah, because real estate is everything that I do is faith-based. That's what I call it.
Right.
Because you never know from one client to another how long it's gonna last. But what was your question again? What did you say?
Let me see. Being a realtor requires dedication and hard work. What drives you to keep pushing forward, especially in rough times?
What drives me is the desire to be successful in this vein. Absolutely, I love being able to open a door for a family that didn't think that they could have a home. I love being the one that connects someone with a lender that approves them, and they didn't think that they could be approved, and the inspiration and the joy that people have when they are establishing wealth and legacy for their family, when they're breaking generational curses and reestablishing their lives, or when they are starting projects with investment properties, having that conversation and seeing the spark in their eye and the excitement. I love to see people I love to see somebody make it. That has always been, I am such a pusher.
Yeah.
If you tell me, Jodi, I think I want to go back to school to do this, I'm going to say, okay, when are we going to fill out the application? When are we going to talk? When are we going to schedule the classes? And I will push until you say, hey, calm down. I don't think I'm ready yet. But I am a pusher. So what drives me to be successful is to see someone else successful.
Yeah.
And that is kind of, it fuels my fire to push for the next person. So I've helped this person, so let me help someone else. And then that will build a legacy. I'll read it. That will build a legacy of, do you know that lady named Jodi, that real estate, that it's called Your Favorite Realtor, Jodi? That's what she is. You know that lady, she helped me buy a house. And, I didn't think I could do it. And look at us now.
Yeah.
Those type of things.
And then also when I see you, when you tell somebody got approved or they under contract, it's like you're more happy than they are. They was like, they in the shock factor, I think. And you was like, box check. Like you were so happy for them. Do you think any of that comes from you being unhoused?
I think a lot of it is attributed to that. I think that one thing that I had an issue with, just a little bit more for this taking the mask off, is that I didn't think anyone fought for me.
Gotcha.
They didn't fight for me. They didn't fight for my success. And so I had to learn how to fight for myself. That's my terminology behind it. And because of that, I fight for everybody.
Yeah.
I will never ever let someone, if I can help it, go through that experience of feeling uncared for.
Right.
And I use that, it kind of graduates into real estate when I help people. And I've always been a people person as far as reaching out and wanting to make those connections. So that is what stimulates me, and when that is fighting for them, seeing them successful, and making sure they know that they were cared for in the totality of the whole transaction. So
I was talking to one of my friends, and one of the things we was talking about is the need to feel valued.
Yeah.
The need to feel cared for.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in today's society have that feeling of abandonment.
Yeah.
Because everything is so tech-based.
Right.
And it doesn't have that personal touch to it.
Yeah.
And even though we are connected to more people through social media, we still don't have that inner connection to people because it's through social media. And you don't have that personal touch. When you're doing your work, especially out in that community, because I feel like you're the best one to talk about that, how are you so intentional that people understand that you care? And it's just not, oh, I'm doing this because I'm a minister. I'm doing this because I'm a realtor. I'm doing this because I'm making money, or I'm doing this because I will be getting more clicks and more likes. How do you get them to feel the energy of love and caringness?
There's a difference between hearing and listening. It's a difference. You can, someone can talk to you and you hear them.
Yeah.
But if you listen, you'll hear what they're actually saying. And I try to make sure people know that I'm listening. I see how afraid you are. I see how big of a deal this is. I hear what you're saying because you have anxiety. And because of that, let's slow it down.
Yeah.
We're not in a hurry. We'll get to the end of this. But let me tell you how the process goes. Communicating with them, explaining step by step, be willing to hold their hand all the way through. And a lot of times that can be a little bit taxing.
Yeah.
But purchasing a house or any doing any type of thing
Yeah.
with a person, they need to feel heard. You need to, if I hear you, I mean, you can tell me something, but your language
Yeah.
is different. Then what you're saying is you're trying to hide from me exactly what's really going on. So let's sit down and let's talk, because I want to make sure you are okay before we move forward. I want to make sure you are feeling comfortable about who you're working with. Am I communicating effectively? Do you
Gotcha.
like the lender you're working with? Are you sure? Let's see how this house feel when we walk inside of it. I don't want you to just jump into the first
Right.
house that you purchase or that you see, not purchase, the first
Yeah.
house that you see just because you can.
Right.
What fits your needs? That is important to me, to make sure people feel heard, and for them to know that I'm listening.
I like that.
You know.
And I think that's one of the first signs of communication in everything.
Yeah.
And it's feeling that value of somebody is really deeply listening to
There's a
you.
difference between
Yeah.
hearing. You can hear me, it's noise. I can hear the air conditioning blowing.
Yeah.
You know, I feel the effects of it. But are you listening to what I'm saying behind what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's a woman thing, you know,
Yeah.
because women want,
Yeah.
we want to be understood.
Yeah.
But when you actually accept the fact that you got to hear me.
Yeah.
You got to listen, not just hear me, you got to listen to me.
Yeah.
Because listening will produce more effects than just hearing me.
I like that.
You know?
And like you said, it gets to the root
Mm-hmm.
of it. You know, because the work that we're doing on North Main is all community driven. You know, nobody's making decisions but the community.
Wow.
It's the resources that we provide, the access, we're the bridge.
Wow.
You know, we're actually the bridge. And the biggest thing that comes with that is them feeling like they're being heard.
Right. And that is in communication.
Yeah.
And you were talking about technology, and we are connected, but we're so separate.
Yeah.
Technology has affected us in a way where we're not talking. We are using our hidden our lives behind the phone and on social media, and we're vocalizing or verbalizing our feelings, but we're not talking to each other.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like there's been a lot of people fight so much, because they don't know how to actually talk to each other, or they can't accept confrontation.
Yep.
And because they are not talking to each other anymore. There was a time when we didn't have phones, and you could have an argument and walk away the next day your best friends.
Yeah.
Now you have an argument, we want to kill each other.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because we're so disconnected.
Yeah.
So disconnected.
And I really believe that, because back in the day, my mom was like, my mom or dad would like, somebody would say, well, just call them. No, you got to tell me no to my face.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of energy versus on the phone where it's nothing in between us versus you right here in my face. It's hard to tell somebody no. My mom used to say that all the time. Go over there and talk to him.
Yeah.
Go over there and talk to him. I was like, well, I'm just going to call. No, go over there and talk to him. It's hard to say no to somebody when you're not, you know, in their face.
Right.
It's hard to say no then. And I think that's why I really like doing this through the community initiative, because they're right there. So when I come back and I tell the people, talk about the needs or trying to create resources, they're right there with me. It's not me being the messenger. I'm just giving them the space to give the message. And so tell the community now that you don't want to redevelop that building.
Right. Well,
but it's easier when we're in this room that only certain people have access to, and they're meeting and they don't have any personal touch to it, versus somebody coming in and speak about the needs of the community that lives in that community and have the effects of what goes on based on your decision.
Well, I would like to say that you're doing an awesome job.
Thank you.
And the community is so fortunate to have you, and you are exactly where you need to be. And we are so grateful for you being a voice
Thank you
for the
Minister
community. Alicia said, Minister J. Being more a voice for the community. You are exactly where you need to be, and you are making great strides. And so I give you your flowers now. You know, so we're grateful for you. Yes, it's my turn. I'm turning this around. Turning it around. Stop asking me questions. I'm over.
No, but you do the same thing, and I mean, you do it in such an impactful way, and like it's just like a ghost in the night, you know, and that's why I love the speaker series, and we all discombobulated, but I love the speaker series because the main thing is we wanted people to see the people behind the work.
Right.
Because you would never come out, you would have never did this on your own. Never.
No.
But people need to understand women like you exist.
I appreciate that.
You exist. Like it is somebody out there that would care for you and love you and provide and support you in any way capacity they have.
With no judgment.
With no judgment.
No judgment.
Yeah.
Honey, listen, I don't care if you're dirty.
Yeah.
I don't care what your past is.
Right.
I don't care how many children you have. I don't care how much you've messed up, because God loves you.
Yeah.
And because of that, God has put that same love in me, and He's growing it more. Just, I don't want you to feel like you're less than.
Yeah.
You and I have the same blood.
Yeah.
We're people.
Yeah.
You know, so you have issues. I'm going to try to help you.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you do have to help yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do my part in helping you to get the resources you need. You know, whatever we have to do, whatever sacrifices we have to make, then, you know, that's who I am.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
And people like you are real. You know, y'all exist. Y'all like thieves in the night, but y'all do exist. And I really wanted to shine light on people who is doing this work that don't feel like they need a bunch of accolades or a bunch of podiums and platforms. That is just on the surface impact.
Well, thank you.
How do you see your role as a realtor pretty much extending beyond helping people buy and sell a house, but really enriching the community? Because one thing about Danville and even Pennsylvania County and Caswell, it's growing.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
I like to see the clients that you work with because it's the everyday citizen.
Yes.
And how do you see that as being important to you in making sure people have housing on that level?
Well, I think of myself as a connector. Making sure everyone has the ability to connect to the right resources. Everybody is connecting. I think of myself in the future as being a mentor to help people to really get exactly, or, you know, because there are grants out there, there's funding out there, but you have to know exactly where to go, know exactly who to talk to. So I see myself impacting that in helping people to find out if we all have to find out how to get to that place or how to find that resource. That is what I want to do. You know?
Yeah. And when you be working with, I noticed you because social media, and I get to notice like how when you work with your clients, it's all different types of grants out there. It's all different types.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't care how rich you are or how poor you are, it's the opportunity.
It is. It is.
But, you know, it takes people like you to say, I'll help anybody that's willing to help themselves.
Yeah.
I just need you to show up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the key point. I can't do the work for you. I can't go follow the steps because you need the education behind these steps.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what to do, but you still have to learn from it.
Yeah.
You still have to show up.
Yeah.
It's your credit.
Yeah.
You know, we have to build it. You have to be accountable.
Yeah.
But if you do that, you will produce such great results just by trying.
Yeah.
Just try.
So that goes back to this question. I mean, it's not on this list, but for people like you who are so committed to helping someone, when do you say no? When is enough?
I have just learned how to start saying no. And it has come through tremendous hurt and tremendous sacrifice. It took me a while to say no, because you don't like it. Well, and I will attribute that to my past.
Gotcha.
Being a I would say a chameleon.
Yeah.
And also wanting everybody to be happy with me because the process of rejection. And so if I say yes, then you're gonna love me.
Yeah.
Looking for that love. Now I'm learning how to love myself. I'm learning how to consider myself. And that's something that everyone has to do, but you have to get a strength to do that, because the first time you tell someone no, you have to be okay with them not being in agreement with you or wanting you around. So I'm just now learning how to say no. And it does bother me.
Yeah.
It bothers me when I do it, but I know it's necessary.
Yeah.
It is learning how to say no. And usually when I say no now, I say, well, unfortunately, it's not, no. Well, unfortunately, I just can't right now.
Yeah.
Or, but I don't have a problem saying no to my children, but eventually I still give them. I still do it. As you'll say, I don't have it. Well, not necessarily that you don't have it. I just don't have it for you.
Yeah.
So I'm learning how
Yeah.
how to say no.
Oh, I was talking to my friend Wendy. I'm calling her out. And one of the things that we talked about is the new word is I don't have the capacity.
Right. Yeah.
Out of capacity. Oh, yeah. That's outside of my capacity.
Yes.
And I mean, it's the way of saying it, but staying professional for one. And then, respecting yourself for two.
Right.
Because everybody talk about is the glass half empty or is the glass half full, when we was like, wait a minute, we're supposed to be living in overflow.
Right. That is something that we have to understand, that we are initially supposed to be the head and not the tail.
Yeah.
We are supposed to be above and not beneath.
Yeah.
We are supposed to be experiencing the greater, but we have to believe that.
Yeah.
We have to believe that we can have anything that God says we can have.
Right.
Being like I said, being the lender and not the borrower. Did I
Yeah.
say that already? I don't know if I said it or not.
No.
But we're supposed to be that. We're supposed to be that. But it comes with great stewardship.
Yeah.
You have to be able to steward your time, steward your money, and also steward the relationships that you have in a healthy manner. You have to learn how to do that.
And I love that. Steward the relationships that you have in a healthy manner.
You have to. I'm learning that stewarding relationship with boundaries. It's okay to have boundaries. When at one point in time, I felt like that boundaries meant that someone didn't love me or that I was rejecting them. I never want to be a rejector, because I know
that's deep right there. That's one of the deepest things I've heard in a minute.
What is that?
And how do that's even possible? Like, I'm all pieces about that, because stewarding relationships,
you have to restore relationships.
Healthy. How do you create those boundaries? How do you do that? Especially people like you and I who just would give it all. Like, do you need this shirt?
Yeah, one at a time, little by little. Then I knew I was gonna say a lot.
You just said no.
But learning how, this is what the Lord is teaching me now.
Yeah.
Is how to have boundaries and how to steward everything. We think that some people believe, well, I believe in the tithe.
Yeah.
And when the 10% goes to the Lord and then the 90 is yours. But the Lord gave you 90, you still have to steward that correctly. So it's not, but your tithe and your stewardship doesn't start or stop with your money. It starts with everything that you have, the time that God gives you.
Yeah.
Wasting time.
Yeah.
You shouldn't, and then relationships the Lord allowed to come in your life. Having healthy relationships with people, allowing people to benefit from knowing you, as opposed to saying, oh, I wish I had never met her.
Yeah.
So just being great stewards over it.
And and because really been talking about this lately in the community, is those healthy relationships, because people would use, abuse, and throw away.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially in the professional field, like I
Yeah.
see a lot of women and men getting burnt out.
Yeah.
And then they just gone. Like they burnt down and gone. And then they would even hire 2 or more, 3 people in your spot.
Right.
To cover what needs to be done. But they was okay when you was
doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
How do you create those boundaries? It's like, wait a minute, this is more than I can do.
That's when you learning about yourself.
Yeah.
I also believe in therapy. People, therapy is okay. Well, first prayer.
Yeah.
But I also believe that you need someone that you can talk to.
Yeah.
And not just your best friend, because they're impartial, to you, but an actual licensed therapist that can just kind of separate you from your situation,
Right.
and think outside of where you actually are. But the burnout is real when you deal with people, because there are some people out there that you give, they want you to give more. If you do, they want you to do more. And you have to learn how to put those boundaries in place with them. That's what I mean about stewarding that relationship. Okay. I loaned you money today, and you said you were going to pay me back next week. Don't come back to me and say, I need to borrow this money again, because I'm going to tell you no. And then after that no, that determines where our relationship lies. When I did the gas giveaway, I had people coming to get gas, and I didn't vet the people. Because I didn't want to do that. To me, it was a trial and error period. So when I did the gas giveaway, people were coming and they had 4 tanks of gas, and it was only $20 I was giving, and we couldn't even put $20 in there.
Wow.
And but I said that it just gave me the experience of what to do the next time, because I'm going to do it again. I don't know exactly what,
Right.
but I will do it again. Just to be able to help someone. It may need it for gas for the week, to go to work or something.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. So that is
And for me, when I grew up, I had 7 brothers and sisters, but they were pretty much grown by the time I was born. So I pretty much grew up like an only child.
Wow.
And whenever I had friends, I took on that friendship because of that. Didn't want to feel the sense of loneliness.
Wow.
My parents were older, my siblings was grown and out the house. So how do I then go to a place where when I meet a friend, I'm like, this is a friend. Like I got somebody to talk to and hang out with. And so stewarding those healthy relationships, at what point is this not me just saying, oh, I'm so happy I got a friend, to the point of creating boundaries? Because I don't scared to create this boundary, because I've now got this newfound friend or this newfound job, or I've been unemployed for 10 months and now I got this job. How do you create those healthy boundaries?
This is a lot when the place that I'm in, I'm doing a whole lot of soul searching.
Yeah.
And you have to, I'm just not, and I'm an expert of me and of my life. What need is this friend meeting in you? What are they satisfying in you that makes you want to be around them so much, where you can't have a boundary? I have this cutoff with me when it comes to talking on the phone a lot. If I'm talking on the phone with you for a certain period of time, there's something in me that just kind of like pulls out. But then there's another part of me that want to continue to conversate, because I don't want to offend you.
Right.
You got to know what your cutoff period is, and you have to listen to your heart, listen to yourself, and understand or realize, is this need that they're feeding in my life? Is it something that is a toxic trait in me? Or is this a genuine relationship where we can grow into a sisterhood?
Yeah.
Or I can grow into a career. But if it's feeding your ego or feeding the toxic trait, then that's when you have to realize, okay, I have to either stop this friendship, or I have to create a strict boundary where this friendship will dissipate anyway.
Right.
So
I like that. What advice would you give to other women, particularly women of color, who are striving to achieve success in their career while still maintaining their well-being?
Be patient with yourself.
Mm.
Forgive yourself. Trust yourself. Fight for yourself. Love yourself. It's okay to be selfish. Take care of yourself. One thing I do is I drink a lot of Cokes. I need to stop. But you only have one body. Drink water. Take care of yourself. But the advice is, and don't stop. Don't quit. Don't quit. When I have my worst days, I give myself one day. I'll lay in the bed, I'll sulk, I'll cry.
Yeah.
I'll give yourself that day. But get back up. Get up. Because the longer you stay there, the easier it's going to be to stay.
Yeah.
Don't quit.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Oh, this is so good.
Go ahead again.
What activities or practices do you really incorporate when you start your mental and your emotional health?
Prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer is the foundation of everything I am. Every morning, most every day, because some days I sleep in, I'm up at 5 o'clock. I'm praying. And that starts my day. 85% of the time. Because a lot of times, sometimes I don't. You know, but 85% of the time, I'm up 5 o'clock. That is my foundation of practice. And I pray, I spend time with the Lord, and then I plan. That's how I do. Again, I don't master it every day, but that is the compilation of who I am and what I've been doing most of my life.
Wow. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Who is Jodi? Like, how kind of legacy?
A legacy of faithfulness, a legacy of truth, a legacy of that's so big to me. I don't have a limitation, but I want to make sure people know that I was here. I want them to know I was here. There was, even though, we do the behind the scenes thing, but I want them to know that this lady really, she really loved God, and she really loved God's people. And it doesn't matter if they're in the church or not.
Right.
Doesn't matter if, black or white or what ethnicity they are. That lady was real. That's the legacy I want to leave, because she was real.
Yeah.
So.
Woo! I don't know where to go, y'all.
We don't end it.
No. What motivates you to keep striving, even?
Oh, what motivates me? I want to say my children, but it's not 100% my children, but it is my granddaughter. She likes to, she acts like me, everything.
She's so little.
Ain't she little? But I asked her the other day, I said, what do you want to do when you grow up? She said, now I'm gonna sell houses like you.
Oh.
When we are at home, she's right beside me and we're looking at TV, and she's just like a little lady having a whole conversation with me. So she is a great motivation for me to be my best.
Yeah.
And then just people.
Yeah.
They are a motivation to me, for me to be my best. So
I can say this is one of the deepest interviews we've had.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to, I don't know. When I read these questions,
I love
said,
it.
I know, but I really wanted to laugh and joke. I wanted to really allow the community to see I am not rigid.
Yeah.
Which a lot of times I have to put on that business face, and then I can't help it. It's just, this the hard knocks that I've had in life has made me like I have that toughness on me. But I'm really so silly. Oh my
I was gonna say, I don't know the rigid Jodi.
Oh my gosh, I am so silly. I like
Yeah.
to laugh and joke, and I be at the house and I get in my daughter's face, and she was like, "Mom, what's wrong with you?" You know?
Yeah, that's the Jodi I know. So
Yeah.
I don't know the rigid Jodi.
Yeah, a lot of times I'm more serious.
Oh, no, she's not. She's not serious, y'all. So, wow.
Well, I feel like I am.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah. What did you ask me?
Now I didn't ask her.
See what I'm saying? You said it was serious. You said it was a deep interview.
But I love it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's just Jodi.
But that's where
Yeah.
I am in my mindset. That is exactly who I am. This is exactly how I think.
Yeah.
But I'm learning how to forgive myself
Yeah.
and understand the grace of God.
Yeah.
Am in the period of my life where God is teaching me Him as grace and as Father,
Yeah.
as opposed to God. I told you earlier,
Yeah.
as God as Judge. Because we look at God as you do wrong, you get wrong.
Yeah.
But God has given us grace.
Yeah.
And I'm learning the love and grace of God. And so
Yeah.
and that's where I think.
Yeah.
This is how I think.
And I think maybe because we connect so much, because that's how I think too.
Mhm.
Everybody's like, "Ugh," my kids especially, like, "Well, it's not that deep."
Yeah.
I was like, but that's the answer.
Yeah,
That's
that's the only thing I have. And I don't know how to think any other way. You know?
That's the answer. You know,
Yeah.
that was like, no, it was like, do you want chicken or beef? Like, it was not a deep.
Yeah.
My brain don't operate there. It's
right.
the depths of who I am.
Yeah.
I got to give it to you that way, the
Yeah.
deepness of me. Okay, final question.
Okay.
Tell me, what is your favorite scripture, mantra, or quote?
And I'm so glad you asked me that, because I really did like that question.
Yeah.
It is well.
Oh.
That's I say it as well. All is well. All is well. And that stimulates from the scripture in the 2 Kings, the Shunammite woman, when she had a son that died. And when her son died, she told her husband, he was like, "It's not time for you to go to see the prophet." She said, "It shall be well." And as she was going, she ended up, by the time she got to the prophet's servant, she said, "It is well." The process of knowing that she had death behind her, the agony of not knowing if the Lord was going to raise him back to life, brought her to a place of faith where she said, "It is well." So regardless of what's going on, how much stress I'm dealing with, I have to use the words, "It is well," because it makes everything well, because it is.
And you didn't even know that's my favorite hymn, but
Shut up.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is well. I say it all. It's well. All is well. It is well. That's my favorite. That's what I say. Yeah.
Jodi Coleman. The raw, the uncut. Thank you for
serious, the deep mind. Okay, here we go.
Thank you for saying yes, because I know it was so hard for you to say.
It was, and a couple of times you texted me, even email. I was gonna say, "I'm not gonna be able to do it." I was gonna say, "No, I'm not gonna do it. Please forgive me." I really wasn't. I was gonna tell you like 3 times. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing it."
Thank you for saying yes.
Yes,
I really appreciate it.
But thank you for having me.
You guys heard it here. Season 3, episode 10, the final cut, Jodi Coleman. Thank you for joining in the True North Speaker Series. I'll see you next time.